Hello everybody, it's the 9th of March and I'm going to do some work on this Persian ironwood that I bought online last year, and put in this seed tray, and it's put on quite a bit of growth, developing a reasonably nice shape. All I'm actually going to be doing with it today is slip potting it from that small seed tray into a larger one, and hopefully going to get even more growth. So it's not going to be a complete repot, but a rough repot. First of all, I'm going to give it a little bit of a trim back, just in a couple of places, just to promote a little bit more ramification. Not taking a lot off, as you can see, but I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to be working the roots very much, so there's no need to take too much off the top. That piece I'm going to keep, and I'm going to wire just to try and fill in this back a little bit more. So just a little piece of wire. And this piece of wood is so thin that it's not going to take hardly anything. I'm going to make sure that's very loose, and that branch can come out of the back of the tree. As I say, hopefully begin to fill out a bit more of that rearward quadrant. Okay, I'm going to leave this other bigger piece of wire on as well, even though it's not really doing much at the moment. In fact, it's not doing anything. Let's take it off. It's only been in this small seed tray for years, so it'll be interesting to see how much root it has put on. Quite a lot. So I'm literally just going to loosen it around the outside. As I said, it's going to be more of a slip pot than a repot. Just make sure that these roots are not going roundy. I want them to come out into the bigger pot. So there we go. I think that'll be enough of it. Loosen up the bottom a bit. Brilliant. Okay. So as I said, I'm going to put it into this seed tray. This is quite a sturdy, strong seed tray. It's not one of those cheap throwaway flimsy things that break in the middle as soon as you try and pick them up. It's quite a solid thing, and the tree will probably be able to stay in it for a couple of years before it goes into a proper bonsai pot. So let's put some, let's knock everything over, make a racket, and then put some soil into the bottom. I'm going to put the tree quite centrally in this pot, but before I do, let's pop in some controlled release fertilizer, small handful. I know some people might think that's quite a lot for a pot this size, but especially when I put a bit more in a minute. But because these soils are so free draining, you can get away with putting a little extra in, because some of it will inevitably drain away out of the bottom of the pot. Okay, so those roots there are going to hang over the edge if I spread them out, so I'm going to snip them off, and the same with these, and the same with those. So the rest I think will be okay. Just make sure that's settled in. There are no air gaps underneath it now. I know I had a nice flat root ball. It's fairly central, a little bit to that side, even though it's not a proper pot, but it'll help set up the root ball to be wider this side where the tree is leaning, and that'll be helpful in future repots, and we'll go from there. Make sure that all the soil is settled around those roots, and then I'm going to add a little bit more, just a small amount, but again this will be at the top of the pot, washing down towards the bottom of the pot rather than in the bottom of the pot, straight out the holes in the bottom. A little bit more. Want to give it a good amount of substrate, compost, soil, call it what you will. I tend to call it whatever word pops out of my mouth. And as we all know, if you're a regular viewer, sometimes my jerds get wombled and I come out with a completely wrong word in the first place. There, I think I'll give that a good old-fashioned gardener's tap. I'll just help settle that around those roots. That's not looking too bad. Give it a good drink. Wash all the dust through. There we go, it's pouring out of the bottom now and washing all that dust out. Only problem is when you do that, it does make you want a Jimmy Riddle if you're not careful. So let's give you a quick 360 of the tree as it is set up. It's possibly leaning a little bit backwards, so I'm not going to unsettle it now I've got it in the pot. That's the problem, standing to one side of the camera as I tend to do. I don't always get a full-on front view, although I really like it as is, with the one trunk leaning back and the one trunk coming forward. So I'm not too distressed by that. So that's another one done. Thank you so much for watching, it's truly appreciated. Don't forget to do the YouTube like, subscribe, comment things, but most of all, please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe, everybody.